1, 2, 3. All right, hi everyone. We are live, and together with me, I have a very special guest, and he's Sean. Everyone, say hi to Sean as well.
What's special?
Hi, Sean.
Overexposed, not exclusive anymore. Okay, really good evening, everyone. So really welcome to this show. 1.9 billion euro missing. This is terrible. Okay, welcome everyone. Hey, but before we get started, I just want to trash talk you, Pete. Last week we were talking about Bulls versus Bears, right? Somehow this week, okay. If you realize the Downs has been going down, okay?
Yes, the bear case actually was quite accurate, I must say.
No, but by only 1 week, it's only 1 week, and I think it's also like triggered by Facebook. If you guys don't know about Facebook, there's this stop hate,
advertising,
stop hate
or profit, something.
Because they are talking about Facebook actually encouraging hate or really like promoting hate to get more advertisers. So Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Pepsi-Cola is also thinking, North Face, a lot of big companies stop advertising on Facebook for July. They say July, no more Facebook advertising. Now, this gets me to start thinking, where are they going to put the money? If they do on Facebook, where do they put? So, Pitbull. chatting, okay?
I have so many versions of my name that is getting a bit ridiculous.
Brad Pitt, okay.
There's Brad Pitt, there's Pitbull, okay, there's Peter Pan, okay, sorry.
Peter Pan, this is new to me, okay. So okay, guys, by the way, please help us do share this show. I want to share something very, very exciting soon now. So just help us click the share button and also type in the comments, say, please listen to this. It's a very important message about the stock market. So, in my opinion, I'm still pretty much bearish. I can share with you why. I read out a bit more about your mobility, because last week people say that you impressed them with all your charts.
But those are real data. Those are real data.
But I dig in deeper. Okay, I dig in deeper, right? I realized if, let's say, there were to be a second wave, which in Florida there is, I don't know whether you saw the video where people go to the constituency and scolded the legislator, right?
Yeah.
How can you force us to wear masks? This is against God.
Yeah, I will not be a dog or something like that, right?
They say this. They quoted the Bible. They say that in the beginning God breathed into man. Then how can you take away people's breath? Now they are quoting God's word and say that they'll be punished by God and stuff like that. So I was thinking, people really anyhow like okay. Anyway, I just want to share with you. You know the data, right? There's also something that they show. They show that the economy has a certain correlation to the number of cases. So in US, right? US is very big. There are some states the cases is higher, the economy is slower. Meaning to say, while the Fed actually pump money to the people to let them spend, correct? Unlike 2008, they pump money for the banks as reserve to save the bank. Now they want people to spend. But people's spending is correlated to how much cases. Because when there's cases, very likely two things happen. One is they cannot go out to spend. They are scared. They stay at home. Second is you also think, if the situation is so bad around my state, right, maybe I should save more. So they may be hoarding the savings. And generally the cases are going up. So I personally still feel that we should expect a certain, a certain drawback. What's the term? The certain
retracement back. Retracement down.
Retracement? Is it retracement? Okay, certain retracement. So it's a curse? What do you mean? The curse. Okay. So this is something that I want to share. And okay, but later, okay, but tonight, very, very, very exciting. If I'm the guest, I talk even more than you. Sorry.
So it's okay. Because the thing is, for me, right, my view is still more bullish than bearish. Because I agree what you say, right? Different states, they have different number of cases and stuff. But the thing is, I think generally we are getting used to this. Right, generally we are getting used to this. I think as the cases go up, we still don't see people stop going out, spending, and going back to their normal daily life. So I'm not a doctor, right? My wife is, I'm not, right? So I wouldn't say that is this the correct thing to do or not, but I'm just saying that people's behavior starts to get acclimatized, right? You get accustomed to it, right? It's just like initially, back then when we had other diseases, people were very fearful, and eventually, we just live with it, and it becomes a part of our life. For example, like dengue fever. Although I don't think that's a perfect comparison. That's not for those medical guys out there. Probably they are scolding me now, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like you just reach a point whereby you cannot live your life like that forever. So you just have to deal with it. Yeah.
No, I believe that we will learn to how to deal with it and then move forward. It's just that between now and then, I say between the point now until the time we get used to it and know how to manage well, correct, I think there will still be a certain friction on finding new jobs. Like even some businesses really suffer. So between now and then, I believe there will be a certain recovery.
Correct. There may be like a trough, like a little dip before it goes back up. So the thing is,
we argue for what? We actually agree on the same point. Okay. Anyway. Okay. I'm just here for 5-10 minutes only now. So I only got 5 minutes left. I want to share something very important, guys. Today, right? I'm very interested in what Pete got to share because I can tell you, I myself couldn't understand what is happening to Wirecard. If you guys know about Wirecard, right? A lot of people who invested into it now they are suffering. And a lot of people text me, hey, what
like
what
a 90% drop already.
Yeah, they ask me, how do I do any repair strategies, I want to share with you, you know what's the worst thing or not? A lot of people who text me and ask me this, right? They ask me the same questions about high flux, So it's like, it reminded me of a story, okay, that many years ago, I was on my way to airport, right? There was this particular Grab driver. He was sending me to airport and he was quite elderly. So he chatted with me and he told me that, where am I going? I said, I'm going overseas to do business. Then he told me that, am I the one left? Okay. So he told me that he himself was a businessman last time. Very, very sad story, guys. Then I asked him, then why are you doing Grab? Is it doing for fun? He said it's not for fun. He said that what happened is after he retired from his business, he sold away the business, all his money, right? He actually put into Lehman Brothers mini bond. And why did he put in there? Because his banker from a very big bank in Singapore, I will not mention the name. Actually, I'm one of the shareholders of the bank. But anyway, he actually invested into that Lehman Brothers mini bond and he lost quite a big portion of the savings. They recovered a bit, but huge portion of the savings gone. So he had to come back and work again. Now, haven't finished. He come back and work again, and then actually he found another job. He started again, and he actually worked another number of years, built up a sum to earn back his retirement sum, right? Then he went back to the same banker, and the same banker asked him to buy into Swiber. And then after that, it really got swiped out. So when he was driving at that point in time, right, he was very sad, He said, I don't know why I trusted someone who is so educated, they know what to do. How come my money all lost? It's very sad. How do you all feel? I just felt very, very sad. So I realized that my question is, how come he go back to the banker? How come he didn't learn? Do you all think learning is important, guys? Please learn. Can you all please type must learn? Now, when I say must learn, right, I'm not asking you definitely like you must learn as much as possible, but learn from your mistake, right? You must learn from a mistake. How can you make the same mistake twice? Now, the next mistake is like you already lose a lot of money. You go back to the banker and you never even like learn how to actually check the investment. To me, it's very heartbreaking. And now again, the Wirecard people is actually the same people from High Flux, same people for quite a number of stocks that go down. When will you ever learn? Now, I think one issue is maybe there's not enough place for people to learn. So this is something I'm going to do, something that I really want to actually do because I look through July, I realize I have some time on the weekend. I want to actually possibly conduct a special class on exactly. So totally, I want to give you a spreadsheet on how to analyze technology stocks. Now, why technology stocks? Because recently Facebook dropped again. Do you all know Facebook dropped? There's an issue. I think just now you mentioned there was a big dip. Should we invest now? How should we deal with it? I want to conduct a class. If I'm going to conduct a class and it's absolutely complimentary, no charge, zero charge. Sometimes when I say no charge, I'm scared because people will take for granted they will not come. So what I'm going to do is this: I'm going to conduct a class very likely next week, next Saturday. Okay, one day, no charge, but I'm going to conduct one time and there will be no recording. Reason why no recording is because people will take for granted. They slowly go and watch and then don't have ready. How many of you will want that? Okay, now can you do me a favor? Pete, is it okay you share the screen for a while?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to pause here and ask you guys to respond. So it's called a next, you all can see the screen, right, Pete? Can, right?
Yep.
Okay, so it's the Next Level All-Star Special Edition, how to analyze and evaluate tech. It's our effort to try to help more people learn. Is that good? Now, do me one favor, okay? So just help me copy this whole thing. I will post it onto the Next Level All-Star. Could you do me a favor? Just help me copy and then post it on your post. Ask your friend to join, especially those friends who never learned investing before. I will go step by step, learn the key criteria on how to analyze technology stocks. Even if they are totally new, I'll go step by step. I will teach you guys the valuation method. I actually created a calculator, a spreadsheet for you to calculate and evaluate tech stocks. The reason we are doing this, again, one time only in July. It will be after election, 11th of July. I'll be doing that. So keep your dates free. I will make sure that the slides, the calculator, everything you'll get. But the video that I'll be doing live will be inside this group, and you'll be one time only. So can you all help me share? If you're okay to share, can you all please type share? And not only just share this particular post that you're watching now, but help me go to this Next Level All-Star group. If you're not inside Next Level All-Star group, please come in, and also please help me copy and also share this post. Okay, so it's a small advertisement, but this advertisement is not for profit. It's really for mission. Okay, let us really help the whole entire world. How many of you want to go on this mission together and help the entire world? Okay, so help me go to this post, help me do a share, and that's what I want to share. I'm very excited to share with you guys. I'll be doing some promotion for this. There will not be any commercial intent out of this. It's just sharing. Okay, I hope you guys like this, and I'll pass it back to Pete. Okay, and share with us how to avoid things like Wirecard. He's the one who told me Wirecard better don't touch. That's why I avoided. I don't know exactly what happened. I want to listen also. Okay, I will become a student already. So
all right, thanks Sean. Hey guys, I honestly I didn't even know about this workshop until he like told me like 5 minutes before we go live, and I was like, hey, let's just do it. Let's just do it, man, because really I think a lot of people out there needs to learn, because it's like what Sean said, over and over and over again. It's like Lehman Brothers, Swiber, High Flux, the three mini stocks, penny stocks in Singapore, if you still remember, the Gold Lion and all those problematic stuff. And then now we have Wirecard. And I'll share with you why so many people fell for Wirecard, because it is distinctively different from the rest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But yet there are still some telltale signs there that everyone can learn from. Okay. So now before I start, right, I just want to play a very quick video to make sure that everybody who is watching this maybe understand like what exactly happened to Wirecard. Okay, so right now I'm just going to share the video, and you'll just sit back and watch this like 1 minute clip first. Okay.
Wirecard Marcus Brown has been arrested. The move was confirmed earlier this hour by Munich's prosecutor's office and comes in the wake of the growing scandal after over a missing 1.9 billion euros at the German payments processor. Now, a judge will decide today over how long Brown will be held. Well, let's get the details now with our Danny Berger. Hi, Danny.
Hi, Francine. Let me tell you what we know so far. So over emails from the German prosecutor, we've learned that they issued an arrest warrant for Marcus Brown, and then he turned himself in late Monday. Now, the charges that he faces, according to the prosecutor, is potential cooperation with offenders of sales manipulation, to make Wirecard look more attractive to investors. And look, this has been a wild ride for Wirecard. You only need to look at the share price over the past 5 days. This scandal, though it's been reported in suspicion in the FT, we can see that the company on Thursday says it's unable to release its earnings report due to money that it's unable to find, about 2 billion euros worth. And that's when we see the stock plunge. The issue gets more complicated on Friday when they say that money likely never existed. Now, one of the issues that Wirecard is continuing to face as we see the stock trade around 16 euros, keep in mind it was trading above 100, is whether or not they'll be able to get an extension of their loan from banks because they missed their earnings release. Now, the banks say in order for them to get an extension and for the loans not to be called, they need to issue more clarity. So there's some hope that they might open this investigation up to a third party, perhaps give more detail. But until then, it looks like the investigation might be going even further with the former CEO, now arrested.
Okay, guys, so really this is the nutshell on what happened to Wirecard. And really today, I just want to use this opportunity to share with you guys, like, what exactly happened. And the thing is, although Wirecard is distinctively different from the rest, and I'll share with you why is that so later on. But the key thing is this, guys, all right? They all have very characteristic traits that you can watch out for. Okay, these are not things that are very unique that you cannot identify. All right, so I always say this, right? When there is smoke, there is likely to be fire. Okay, I say this again. When there is smoke, there is likely to be fire. So today I want to run through this whole thing about Wirecard and to give you guys an idea on how to look out for such problematic companies. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive straight in. Now, I just want to start by saying that these are all my own personal opinion. It doesn't represent anybody or any organization, but the most important thing is this: please do not take this as a buy or sell recommendation at all for your investment decision. Okay, so everyone, please use your own judgment. All right, seek your own advice before you invest in anything. All right. And that's exactly what I want to share with you guys today, because otherwise you can see, right, just now, like what the newscaster has said, right? It was once above 100, but guess what? Just about a year ago, all right, in July 2018, it was even at $200. So if you bought around then, right now you have lost almost 95%. 95%, guys. Okay, it is not even funny. 95%. And the thing is, can this potentially go to zero? Looks like potentially possible. But now, I want to highlight why is this so different, right? Because this company is not your mom and pop business, no. It's not anything small. It's not a small business, guys. This was the company that was included into the DAX index. Guys, can you all type index? D-A-X. The DAX index. Okay. Now, what is the DAX index? This is like your S&P 500 in Germany. Okay. And it actually replaced one of their national bank known as the Commerce Bank, okay, back in 2018. Therefore, Wirecard had a lot of credentials. Just imagine today, right? If someone comes to you and say, in the S&P 500 or in the Singapore context, the Straits Times Index, the top of the Straits Times Index, one of the main companies is a fraud. It will be very hard for people to understand, because people buy into Wirecard not because they trust Wirecard, it's because it's in the index and people trust the index to do its job. Okay, so this was exactly why Wirecard is so damaging, because it's not a simple high flux, it's not a simple Lehman Brothers, or is it any penny stock? It's none of that. Okay, it's actually a recognized company, a very strong company that was worth at one point in time close to 22.5 billion euros at one point in time. Okay, so let's dig deeper, right? So actually, this goes way back, right? This is actually not Wirecard's first time where they had a problem, okay? And I just want to say all this, I actually dug it out from a very good report in Financial Times. So if you want to find out the super detailed version, you can go ahead and read Financial Times. But today, I just want to give you a very quick snapshot, okay? So actually, in 2008, right, in the midst of the global financial crisis, there was already some signs of issues, okay? So, you know, they had to conduct a special audit because they realized there were some irregularities. Okay, and eventually, you know, there was some prosecution, but there was nothing. All right, so between 2008, right, moving forward, the next thing I remember was actually 2017. Okay, and in 2017, guess what? Their own auditor, EY, all right, EY stands for Ernst & Young, a very famous auditing firm, top four, all right, the big four guys. Okay, gave them a clean audit. All right, and that prompted a lot of people to start buying Wirecard. Okay, and it doubled in price. So remember, I talked about 2018, it doubled into $200, exactly that. And in 2017, they did something that made their credentials, right, even more powerful, even more reliable. All right, they bought over the Citibank payment processing operations in Asia, and that includes Singapore, where I'm from. All right, each time when I swipe my credit card, there's a good chance I will see the word Wirecard being printed on the receipts. Okay, so for you guys right now, if you have the receipts, go ahead and take a look. All right, you will probably see Wirecard there, and that was all good, no. But I realized there was one problem, and guys, I want you all to take note of this. Okay, and guys, can you all type it in? Management. Okay, type it in management. Now, management is super important because the management action tells you whether they are comfortable and confident of the business. And what did the management do? And the CEO, Marcus Brown, who was actually the main guy that is actually being arrested right now, he actually kind of like collateralized his shares, all right? And he borrowed money based on his 7% shares. Okay, and that's a very unusual move, because if you are in management, you love your company and you know that your company's value is going to grow, why would you want to collateralize it to take a loan right now? Okay, because if you do that when you collateralize, then eventually the stocks can be taken away from you. So that was very strange. Okay, so this is called pledging of shares. So guys, if you see any management start pledging shares, I'm not saying that straight up is a bad thing, but it is a red flag. It's definitely a red flag that you need to pay attention to. Okay, you need to pay attention to. And the management action is very important, because a lot of time frauds cannot be seen from numbers, frauds cannot be seen from numbers. That's why it's called fraud, right? The management deliberately went to play with the numbers so that you can't see it. But you can see from their actions. You can see from the things that they do. All right. And in this case, it's very obvious. He's pledging away his shares. Okay. Then in 2018 March, this is where it comes close to heart, right? Everyone in Singapore should have remembered this case whereby in Singapore, their headquarters, all right, some of them were investigated. All right. This was a very big case. In fact, our Singapore Monetary Authority of Singapore came in to launch an investigation. Okay. And they were involved in this thing called a round tipping. Now, I won't go into too much detail what round tipping is, but basically they're just moving money around and giving you this illusion that there's a lot of money. All right, imagine you only have $100, but to give the illusion you have $300, they move it into 3 different places very quickly, so that when people check on it, it looks like there's $300. All right, this is roughly what round tipping is. I don't go into much details. And they actually launched an investigation on themselves, and subsequently they were kind of like had a clean sheet, no problem, and they continue. And that is when they got replaced into the prestigious DAX 30, which is the Germany S&P 500, or in this case, 30 companies. And this was like the best trick. Okay, so because when they got included into the DAX 30, right? Guess what? Okay, at the same time, the German government actually stopped short sellers from shorting them. So they even had government protection. Guys, can you type it in? Government protection. So that gave a lot of people a lot of confidence. But to me is that if there's so many pre-existing problems, right, you need to think deeper. No, something must be wrong. Okay, something must be wrong. Okay, so let's dig deeper, right? And let's move with the timeline. So this was September 2018. And then in 2019, the Singapore police even raided their office. Now, guys, there's a lot of things that I don't trust about the overseas, other people's government. But I feel that in Singapore, right, when the police comes to you, even if they don't have any results or they don't show anything, it tells a certain story. It gives you a certain sign, right? And that's where I talk about the government in Germany actually announced a 2-month ban on short selling. BaFin, this is their finance ministry, okay? And this is exactly when, okay, the share price starts to drop. All right, the share price starts to drop. But the thing is this, people weren't really too concerned because ultimately, you know, when all these were good and done, there was no further investigation. All right, there were some employees that was being sacked and stuff, but other than that, there was nothing. And it was very, very strange. And then, tada, came SoftBank. All right, now, Masayoshi-san decided that, you know, it was a cheap deal to buy into Wirecard. So at that point in time, in September 2019, what did SoftBank do? SoftBank actually invested $900 million. Now, at this point in time, I'm starting to doubt like SoftBank judgment because they had WeWork, they had this, and they had Oyo. I don't know what other things they can get wrong. But it's not just SoftBank buying into Wirecard at that point in time. It's not that. It's actually that Wirecard continue to use their position in the DAX to issue another 500 million of bond. And yet they claim that at that point in time, they do not have financial difficulty. So that was very strange for me because if you do not have financial difficulty, why are you raising money? It's very strange. It doesn't make sense, right? Think about it. If you are not having financial difficulty, why do you want to take out extra debt, right? So a lot of people say, oh, let's follow the smart money. So really this was very bad because a lot of people followed the institutional investors. You know, their relationship manager told them this is a great thing, this is a great bond to buy. SoftBank bought it, so you should buy it too. Guys, smart money doesn't mean they are right. Okay, they call it smart money because they think that the institutional players are smart, but they are not right all the time. You must do your own homework. Okay, and if you've been following through the whole discussion, right, there are so many ringing bells, even before September 2019. Okay, let's go forward. And then in November, okay, Singapore say that, hey, there's a lack of audit opinion for the Singapore office. And yet the company says that they can get a new license to operate in the city-state. And that is where I find it most interesting because Monetary Authority of Singapore refused to give them the license. even though they themselves say that they expect to get the new license. Okay, and once again, like I said, the Singapore government may not get everything right, but in this case, I trust their judgment. They must have sensed something is wrong. Okay, and then today, what happened today? Now, what led to Wirecard's crazy fail is because finally the house of cards come to an end. Okay, finally the house of cards come to an end because they can no longer hide it. Last time they can shift the money around and things like that, and right now, even their own auditor, Ernst & Young, all right, they didn't want to sign off on the annual report. So they could not annual report, their earnings. All right. So the company Wirecard can't even announce the earnings because the auditor refused to sign off. Okay. And they realized that it's for 3 years. They could not find the $1 billion in cash that they claim to have. Okay. To give you a perspective, this $1 billion accounts for almost all the cash they have. Almost all. It's a $22 billion company only, okay? So 1 billion is a lot. 1 billion is a lot. And they finally revealed that in this week, the 1.9 billion euro, okay, he himself, not the CEO, but the company themselves say that it probably don't exist. Okay, it probably don't exist. And what is the final coffee in the nail is when Ernst & Young, all right, this is really like a movie, they should really turn this into a movie, all right? Ernst & Young actually went to call the banks, the 2 Philippine banks that this money was supposed to be held at in a trustee account. It wasn't there. It wasn't there. The central bank said the cash never entered the monetary system. And the 2 big banks said that they don't even have a relationship with Wirecard. Okay? And this is a company that is so huge. They employ 6,000 people, guys. Okay? So this is the scale of fraud that it is. I would say this is perhaps one of the largest discovery of a fraud that I have seen in recent years. Really one of the largest, because this is such a big company, such a prominent one. But yet at the same time, you notice if you have been following the company, you go and research it, you know that there are signs, there are smoke. You see smoke. Once again, when there's smoke, there's probably a fire. Okay? All right. And then finally, the CEO, I don't know where he found his conscience, he actually turned himself in. All right, he quit, he resigned, and he turned himself in after the Philippine bank said that, hey, I don't have your money, bro. Like, I don't have your money. Please don't say it's me. Right? And then the very night, the company management had a press conference. All right. And Braun said he will resign with immediate effect. And he made this poor chap, James Freas, to take over as the interim CEO. And guys, James Freas just joined the company, meant to be the head of compliance about a month ago. All right, poor chap. I wish him all the best. I hope he can really settle all this. But the key thing is this, right? Right, he was a head of compliance in the German stock exchange. All right, and now he's the CEO. Okay, it's quite amazing, right? How they can continue to turn this whole thing around and around, right? So when I think about this, it reminded me of another case. All right, this is Marcus. All right, this is Marcus. But who is this lady? Guys, do you remember this lady? Can you all type in the comments? Do you remember this lady? All right, who is she? These days, when I see people wearing purple neck, I get very turtleneck. Sorry, black turtleneck. I get very scared. I get very scared because it seems to be a trend. Okay, so today I know I buttoned a bit higher, but this is not a turtleneck. Okay, and I'm wearing white. Okay, but guys, not just the fashion, the way that how sophisticated it is. All right, this is Theranos. This is Theranos. Okay, Theranos was a company that claimed that they can test all your genetic diseases or whatever not with a drop of blood. It was the darling of the Silicon Valley. They had Secretary of Defense. They have prominent people sitting on the board of directors, and yet at the end of the day, Theranos was also a fraud. All right. Elizabeth Holmes, who was the CEO, who was deemed as the Silicon Valley, the next Steve Jobs. In the end, it was all fraud. Okay, and all this have been happening over and over and again. But guys, I want you all to notice that all this does not happen at a snapshot. Wirecard did not collapse overnight. It was years and years of signs that, the newspaper have been telling you. Financial Times even had launched a full-on investigation about them, and they launched very detailed articles, but people refuse to read. People refuse to take note of the signs. Okay, so So guys, I want to go into the key thing, right? Is that at this point in time, all right, some people still message me and ask me, okay, can we invest in Wirecard since it's so cheap? Guys, what do you think? What do you think? Okay, no matter how cheap it is, all right, if it's something that you're not confident on, you need to watch out, all right? If it's a real fraud, guess what? It can fall to zero. It can fall to zero, okay? All right, so let's go through some financials for you, right, for Wirecard. And I want you to understand why so many people fell for it. And it's really not their fault. Look at it, right? Revenue-wise, it's been great. Revenue has been going up. Okay, gross margin, super healthy, close to 50%. Net income has been increasing. They give you a dividend some more, all right? And free cash flow, they claim that there's free cash flow, but guys, guess what? 1.9 billion doesn't exist. So this is probably fake, okay? But you cannot see from the papers. You cannot see from the numbers at all, all right? That's why it's so important to go beyond the numbers to understand the company. And that's something that I love to do, and I always teach my students to do that. All right, don't just stop at the numbers. It's good to start with the numbers, but don't stop there, okay? All right. Then the next thing you look, wow, even the metrics are so nice. ROE is so healthy, return on asset is high, net margin 17%. They even tell you interest coverage more than 10. These are all fantastic criteria, right? Fantastic numbers. So guys, the thing is this, what is your investment thesis if you still want to invest in Wirecard? Or you are wondering, guys, I'm holding on to Wirecard shares. Okay, guys, how many of you are holding on to Wirecard shares? Please do not be ashamed. Do not blame yourself. But I want you to recognize that it's time for you to take your investment seriously. Okay, over the last weekend, I taught many students and I tell them, investing is a professional thing. It's a professional thing. You can make it a hobby still, but please make sure it's a professional hobby. So treat it seriously. Treat it seriously, guys, okay? So if you're holding on to these shares or you are thinking of buying, ask yourself, what is your investment thesis? Firstly, is Wirecard still a viable business? And this question, I will give it a perhaps because I do use it daily, right? When I swipe my card, I still see the word Wirecard. So maybe, perhaps, but can the management be trusted? The answer is most likely not. All right, the answer is really most likely not. And the next thing is it undervalued now? Probably. It's probably undervalued if the business is still remaining intact and that was the only problem. However, is that true? Is that the only problem? Is that the only part that's fraudulent about the business? Honestly, I don't know. Okay? Honestly, I don't know. And my take is this, if they can go to such length, all right, such sophistication to hide 1.9 billion euros, I don't know what else they can do, to be very honest. All right, I'm not saying they did it, okay? Please fact check me. I could be wrong, but I don't have a lot of confidence in that, okay? So last but not least, I asked myself, can I trust the numbers? And I have my doubts, right? If you minus away the 1.9 billion, it changes the numbers immediately. They are not so healthy in free cash flow anymore. The debt is not so high anymore, okay? So I just want to say, even till today, this is the one of the latest coming out on 28 June. That was yesterday, okay? And they say that they will continue with their business even after the company is filing for insolvency. Now, insolvency is a very complicated word, but it just means that they are unable to fulfill some of their debt requirement. Therefore, they are no longer solvent. They don't have any more liquid cash to go around. Okay, so they want to continue with the business, but I really don't know what else of the business they can continue with. Okay, and this is basically a summary of what I just went through with you guys, coupled with the share price. Okay, so you can see when they joined the DAX, wow, it was at an all-time high. And then when the Singapore police raided them, it was here. Okay, and then when SoftBank joined them, SoftBank thought they were in for a good ride, right? But sooner or later, things starts to go downside. All right, they got KPMG to come in. KPMG say, I cannot find anything. Right, then EY come in, say, I also cannot find anything. I cannot find the money. And here is where we are right now. It's not even here anymore, guys. It's probably here. Okay? All right, guys. So really, it didn't happen in a snapshot like this, you know, like they joined the index and then fraud, boom. No, right? This kind of fraud, while it's sophisticated, there will always be signs along the way. And really, this time around, I really want to give credit to Financial Times, right? That they really got this right. From the very early stage, their investigation team was already investigating, and I was following them very closely. And I couldn't find fault with their argument. Right? So guys, if you're investing in any company, please make use of Wirecard as a case study to understand better. All right, to understand better how fraud works, right? And if there are signs of trouble, a lot of times for me, right? Okay, because I'm putting my money with you, right? When I'm investing, you're putting your money. What is the largest thing, guys? What's the most important thing? It is trust. It is trust. Okay, so if I cannot trust the company, I cannot trust the management. Really, no matter how cheap it is, I'm gonna stay away. No matter whether the business is still ongoing, I'm gonna stay away because I don't trust the management anymore. I don't know whether they will do something even more stupid than this, right? Okay, so this is Wirecard. No, this is not Wirecard, guys. I don't know if you remember this company. This is Enron. Okay, this was perhaps the largest fraud that we have ever seen in our life. Okay, so I'm saying that this kind of fraud, right, will continue to exist because Enron was years ago, and till this day, we still see all this fraud ongoing. Okay, so guys, you really must learn your lesson. I know a lot of you PM me, message me about Wirecard, and I just want to do a very quick video for all of you to make sure that you guys understand what's happening. My final parting word for you guys, everybody out there, okay, including my students over the weekend, if you're listening to this, all right, get this into your head. Please only invest in things you understand, but more importantly, that you trust. Okay? All right. So with that, that's all I have. Let me see if you have any questions if you have any questions, put in the comments. All right, let me take a look. All right. Yeah. So the thing is, I'm not going to say whether it's the auditor's fault or not, right? I'm in no position, but I think the auditor may have some responsibility to bear after this. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, someone say right now, pre-market is $3.85. Whoa, okay. And last Friday was 76 cents. Oh yeah. So if you went in during this period, you try to go for the spike, you probably make money. But honestly, I wouldn't do it. It's a bit too risky for me already. Okay, it's a bit too risky for me already. All right. I find it too scary lah. Too scary. Okay, it can go to zero in my opinion. Okay, it can go to zero. But once again, if you want to really use it as a investment strategy, like let's say you're trading, what is the most important thing? Is you must position size. Guys, can you type it in? Position size. Because no matter what happened, okay, if you position size it properly, let's say your Wirecard position is only 5% of your whole portfolio. Guess what? What is the maximum damage it can do to you? 5%. All right, 5%. So ultimately, position sizing is something that we emphasize over and over and over again as we teach. It will save you. It will save your butt, okay? It will save your butt. Like what Griffin say here, right? That's why position sizing is so important. Exactly, Griffin. I agree with you. Okay, 100%. 100%. Okay? So really, when there's fire, there's smoke. Likely there's when there's smoke, there's likely a fire. Okay, make sure of that. Okay. Any questions? So Kairu is saying, how is it that there are red flags and yet there are no action taken by the authorities? Kairu, I honestly don't know, right? So a lot of times we cannot we cannot influence what the authority does, right? The authority will do what they do, but as an investor yourself, you can definitely do what you can control, which is whether you want to invest in them or not. All right, be very, very careful. And yeah, like what this Facebook user, I don't know, I can't see your name, okay, Luckin Coffee, very similar. Luckin Coffee had a fraud in terms of revenue. It's a different kind of fraud, but it's still a fraud. Okay, all right, fantastic. Okay, what else? Where can we read about the management team? Henry is asking. Very simple. Very good question, Henry. Very good question. Go to the company's website, investor relations part. They will always tell you who is in the management. Okay, they will always tell you who is in the management. So make sure you go and read about them and try to understand them a bit better. But more importantly, it's not just to understand their character. I always say, don't listen to what people say, see what they do. Don't listen to what people say, see what they do. So remember Marcus Brown, he had pledged his shares to borrow money. To me, that was a red flag. Okay, to me, that was a very, very serious red flag. Okay, all right. Veronica, thanks for the comments. Thanks for the comments. So Sebastian is asking, how are we able to ward off some companies even though they cook up their reports and even get onto NASDAQ? So to me, this, guys, I never invest because the company is in the major index. No, right? It's never that. It's about dwelling deeper into the statements, into the financial report to understand better. All right, because you know by now, okay, you cannot trust the company just because they are in the index. It doesn't mean that they are definitely able to be free. Okay, to be free of all this fraud. Okay, to free all this fraud. Okay, guys, some of you are asking for Facebook, right? Don't worry. Wait for Sean. Sean is going to do a Facebook live. Then he'll talk about Facebook. Okay. All right. Wow. In Pete we trust. No. This one is in God we trust. Not me. Not me. Okay. All right. So really, I don't know. This time round, right? This thing is really like a show. Like a crazy whoa. You know, I think they should make it into a movie, lah. Okay. They should make it into a movie, and really, this is something that I think is a very good lesson for everybody, no matter you are invested or not. Okay. And one thing, yeah, like what Sean said, right? You can go to Glassdoor, have a look at the CEO rating, what they say. Maybe you can go and look at, you know, what they say about what I say about the company. Oh my goodness, there's smoke. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. It's a demister, right? I just want to play with you guys. But guys, remember this: when there's smoke, there is likely fire. All right. So with that, I want to thank you, everybody. If you have any questions, just put in the comments below. We'll answer them even after this session. All right. So I hope you guys love this session. You have learned a lot. Guys, if you have learned a lot, can you type in a lot in the comments? Type in a lot in the comments. Okay. Love it. I love sharing with everybody. I'll continue to do more of this in the future. And once again, guys, make sure you, let me off this. Make sure you invest your money in where you trust. Okay. If not, I want to thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic night. Rest well, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.